Hello, welcome to North West Tonight. The mother of 4 children murdered in an arson attack in Salford has died from her injuries nearly 2 years after the blaze at their home. Michelle Pearson suffered horrendous burns in the fire in Walkden in 2017. Naomi Cornwell reports.
Flowers were left at the house on Jackson Street today. The fire here has now claimed 5 lives. 15-year-old Demi, 8-year-old Brandon, Lacey, who was 7, and Leah, just 3 years old, died in December 2017 after 2 petrol bombs were thrown into their home. Their mother, Michelle Pearson, suffered 75% burns in the fire and was too unwell to attend her children's funerals. She'd recorded an emotional message from her hospital bed, thanking those who tried to help.
I'd like to thank all the firefighters for what they have done. Second, I would like to thank the community for all their generous donations.
Today, Michelle's mother said that after 20 months of fighting, her daughter had gained her wings and joined her babies. Neighbours here on Jackson Street have been too upset to speak on camera today, but one told us that everyone in the neighbourhood was traumatised by what happened here. One man whose children used to play with Michelle Pearson's children told us he was devastated today, and one woman said she would be saying prayers for the family. A court had heard the fire was started by Zach Bolland and David Worrell after a feud with the children's older brother. Bolland and Worrell are each serving 4 life sentences for murder. Today there have been calls for them to be charged with Michelle Pearson's murder too. In light of her death, Greater Manchester Police has said it's now reviewing the original investigation and consulting the Crown Prosecution Service. Naomi Cornwell, BBC North West Tonight in Walkden.
The disappearance of a mother of 2 is now being treated as murder after a body was found in a Lancashire cemetery. Lindsay Burbeck was last seen in Huncote near Accrington on the 12th of August. Formal identifications yet to take place, but detectives say they believe a body discovered in Accrington Cemetery on Saturday is that of the 47-year-old. The Conservative MP for Fylde is calling for fracking to be permanently stopped in the area after the biggest earth tremor so far shook houses for miles around this morning. The tremor near Quadrilla's site, measuring 2.9 on the Richter scale, was the largest of series recorded during the past 5 days. And it was bigger than the small earthquake, which stopped shale gas exploration back in 2011. Here's Jill Dummigan.
Protesters outside the Quadrilla site at Preston New Road this afternoon, a familiar sight with many unfamiliar faces.
But first time of actually coming down, I think, the earthquake obviously affected loads of people locally, and it's just time to really make a stand about it, really.
I think it's the first time it's personally affected me, feeling the jolt at my house this morning.
Have you been to these protests before?
No.
We've always picked our horn in support, but what has happened over the last 4 days has been shocking.
This is the latest of 3 notable tremors here this week, each one stronger than the last. And the people protesting here today have been telling us that it's this morning's in particular which has convinced them that this shouldn't go on. Many of today's demonstrators walked here from houses nearby.
Quadrilla and that keep saying, oh well, all these other previous shakes is just like dropping a bag on a heavy shopping bag on the floor.
On the floor, and it's nothing.
So this wasn't a shopping bag then?
No, there's no shopping bags that heavy.
It really shook the building.
So what do you want to happen?
Them to go away. Them to go away. They've got to stop now, haven't they?
Today, the area's MP, Mark Menzies, officially decided he agrees. He's called for an end to fracking on the Fylde coast, saying it's clear it's not suitable for the area. The Oil and Gas Authority has already suspended it while it considers whether Quadrilla's plans continue to be appropriate to the risk of increased seismic activity. The boss of Quadrilla, though, this evening insisting that this site remains a good option to supply the country's gas.
This is an area where the natural gas exists, and the alternative is, if we don't explore and develop our own natural gas, we will simply resort to importing it. So I think the national need is very important. I understand that people are concerned, but it is within the range that we modelled and predicted, and I hope that the local MP, Mr Menzies, will recognise that.
For now, though, the machinery again lying dormant at this site while the regulators consider this latest development. Jill Dummigan, BBC North West Tonight, Little Plumpton.
A bid to buy Bolton Wanderers has collapsed at the last minute. Administrators acting on behalf of the club say the sale was agreed on Friday but fell down on Saturday. They've warned unless things change, they'll be forced to begin the process of closing down the club on Wednesday.
Just really, really desperately worried because, you know, it's just, you can't possibly imagine this club not existing anymore. It's heartbreaking.
And the Manchester Pride celebrations have just come to a close. Thousands gathered in Sackvale Gardens for the annual candlelit vigil. It's to commemorate those lost to the HIV virus and remember the LGBT+ community around the world who are being persecuted. That's it from me for tonight. Follow the latest on Bolton and Bury on BBC Radio Manchester. We're back in the morning as part of BBC Breakfast. I'll leave you now with a look at the weather from Kay. Have a good evening. Good night.
Hello again, good evening. Well, it's been a beautiful bank holiday for most of us. I'm afraid change is ahead. Tomorrow, yes, it is going to be a fine start, but we are looking at showers pushing up from the south. So, back to tonight, quite a warm, muggy feeling night. Temperatures still well into double figures. For most of us, though, it will stay dry with variable amounts of cloud. Temperatures will be around about 12 to 14 degrees. Now, like I said, the odd rogue shower possible, but for most of us, it'll be a fine start. The best of the sunshine when that cloud burns off. But then we start to pull up showers, and into the afternoon, some of these could be heavy, merging at times into longer spells of rain. And you can't rule out the odd rumble of thunder too. Highs of about 22 or 23 degrees. This is what's forecast for Wednesday, all thanks to a cold front. So a fair bit of rain on Wednesday could get quite heavy at times, starting perhaps to brighten up later, though. That's it from me. I'm going to leave you with the summary. Whatever you get up to, have a good one. I'll see you on Wednesday.